our second lectures, and we are covering question number 2 from the past papers. If you wanted to know that how to attempt 4 marks question, you can visit video number 1, lecture number 1. And as I told you in the lecture number 1 that we are covering the past papers, and I will make 4 different series. Here in this series number 1, we are covering, and we will try to cover the maximum papers from AS Sociology paper number 1. Next series we will start, that would be the paper number 2 from the AS Sociology. Third series we will try to cover paper 3 and then paper 4 as well. So first we in the previous video we covered question number 1, and I told you that what is the structure of the question, how you would attempt, and what examiner wants you to write. Now we are at question number 2, that is question number 2A part. There's explain 2 reasons why researcher might use more than one methods. It's a 8 marks question, so idea would remain same for all the papers, whatever you would attempt in the past papers or you would attempt in your final exam. So first, idea would remain same, as a bit difference we have in the 8 marks question. Obviously we if you remember, whatever the question marks we divide in the video number 1, we will divide the same marks in the 8 marks question, but we have additional things as well. They said that we have to explain 2 reasons. So first we will give a heading. You would be able to get 1 marks. Then we have to explain into 2 lines. Again, we would be able to get 1 marks again. Try to use relevant material like sociology material. Sociology material mean maximum use the word, whatever the word you read in your course content, like structured, unstructured, questionnaire, all the stuff. You would be able to get 1 marks again. Third, just to conclude that how you can or how you think that this is relevant to the questions have been asked in the question number 2. And what is that? Use the relevant, or you can say it's a kind of supportive and arguments, or how your heading supports the question. Okay, you would be able to get 1 marks again. And again, when you will be able to, by expressing heading, explain 2 lines, whatever the heading we have, then sociology material, obviously we will use it, and then we will just identify, and then we will just explain in 1 and 2 lines, just to give the idea that our heading is support the questions. So 1 by 1 you would be able to get 4 marks in heading 1, and then idea would remain same for heading number 2. Again, we will cover explain 2 lines and then up to so on. So this is how we would be able to get 8 marks. Let's try to attempt this question. Questions is that explain 2 reasons why a researcher might use more than one method. If you guys remember the course content, I'm sure that you guys have plenty of things in your mind to give the argument against in support to this question. Let's try to arrange and then try to cover this one. For example, let's start from heading number 1, and the heading is that they are asking us to explain 2 reasons. The one reason, let's say, enhancing reliability and validity. Using multiple methods. No, I will explain the heading. Using multiple methods can help ensure reliability and validity of the research findings by employing approaches to gather data, but you can cite this is enough to explanation. Now the next is to try to more emphasize on your introduction. So what you need to do, you need to give an example. For instance, researcher might want to study impact of social media, impact of social media on kids or children. In fact, the most appropriate word is adolescents. This is a growth between the childhood and the, this is a phase between the childhood and the uh, adult. So adolescents self-esteem, they might they might use, or they might use surveys to collect quantitative data. Now you can see I'm using the sociology material word. Oh, okay, whatever the word we discuss, like surveys to collect the quantitative data, you know, I am into third heading, I am into third paragraph, or whatever I just give you that one by one. First you need to, first 1 marks you will get by giving a good introduction, and then you need to give a sociology materials, then explanation. Okay, quantitative data and also conducting interviews, conducting interviews to gather qualitative insights, to gather qualitative insights. By combining these, now I am just concluding this question. I'm not the question, I'm concluding this heading. By combining these two methods, these two methods, researcher can obtain, or researcher can get comprehensive or clear or detail, whatever the word you can use, detailed understanding of situation, or you can use the word case, and increase trustworthiness, and increase trustworthiness. Now come on to heading number 2 that we have, let's say, addressing bias. Now explain it. That each research method has its strength and limitation, has its strength and limitation, strengths and its limitation by using multiple method. Now I am relating it that how my heading will be very good in supporting the answer. By using multiple method, researcher can compensate limitation in any single approach. I mean, he can compensate the limitation from both sides. Approach. For instance, make it more perfect or more clear. Give an example. For example, if researcher rely on only surveys, again I am using the terminologies, surveys for data collection, detail response from participant may miss. Okay, may miss. So researcher can get details information by conducting interviews. You can write it, can get detailed qualitative information as well. Here you can write qualitative information by conducting interviews. Okay, so in the end you can give a conclusion remarks. So multiple methods helps to avoid from inaccurate conclusion based on the limitation of single method, based on limitation of single method. This is how you have to attempt the questions. I give you basically 4 points to attempt 8 marks question. 1, you need to give a heading. Next, you have to explain the heading. Third, try to use the sociology material. Explanation you can and meanwhile you can give an example just to make it more prolific, and then in the end you need to draw the conclusion that how your headings is supporting the question. Like as they said, the multiple methods or why researcher use more than one method, so how your heading support the arguments or support the question as well. So you need to wind up these questions in each heading. For example, you have heading number 1, try to cover the questions up to 5 lines. Like there should be a maximum 5 lines. You can cover it in to 7 lines as well. So 5 to 7 lines you have to cover one heading, and next 5 to 7 lines you have to cover the next heading. You just have to follow the pattern as I mentioned over there, just to get good marks out of 8. And if everything's going well in your exam, in your attempts, in your content, whatever you have in your mind, if you use a very good, if you have a very good selection of the words, you would be able to get 8 marks out of 8. This is how you have to attempt 8 marks questions, and make sure that you covered 8 marks question into 12 minutes. Then you would be able to manage your time according to your paper pattern. If you guys have any question, just comment below.